We're watching films on the toilet, because that's what dads have to do. When the movie's unsuitable for your kids, then pretend you need a number two. If you need a break from your family or spouse, there's a lavatorial picture house. Watch Terminator 2 while you're sitting on the loo. Enjoy the whole of Rambo 4 with your trousers on the floor. We're watching films on the toilet. How about you?
Did I tell you what I hate then?
Oh God, where do you start?
Well, firstly, every town in Cornwall.
Yeah.
Paddy McGuinness.
Yeah.
Pete Andre.
Yeah.
Josh Widdicombe.
Yeah.
I mean, I could go on. But something I really hate, and I've noticed it in lots of cookery programs, when people eat something really tasty, their face doesn't light up and they smile and they go, that's delicious. They just do this thing where they go, Their eyes close and they just kind of like look up, and I'm just like, the fuck is wrong with you?
They're in some kind of ecstasy.
Yeah, and they make horrible noises as well.
Yeah.
What's wrong with going, and then rubbing your tum in a circular motion? When did that stop being cool?
Yeah. I've actually been watching a bit of MasterChef recently. My older son's got quite into it. We both find it quite emotional.
Okay.
I feel like it's genuine talent.
Okay.
Like there's no other talent show that I would say anyone deserves a prize at the end, really.
Yeah, but Ben, I feel like you're being economic with the truth there. Because you're also famously in love with Greg Wallace. To the point where you've been warned by the police for stalking him.
I thought you weren't going to talk about that.
Well, you can't...
You're not allowed to bring it up.
You're not allowed to. I'm allowed to talk about him at ease.
Oh, so I just have to listen to you talk about my man.
Yeah. Oh, I love MasterChef, but the fish fingers make me feel emotional.
Yeah.
Is it that, Ben, or is it Greg Wallace's waxy dome? I remember it's on Peep Show. They gave the perfect description to him and John Turode, which is those two men who look like robbers. And they absolutely do.
You could put them both in Home Alone, and that would be... it would be a perfect swap, wouldn't it?
I'd love to see John Turode get tarred and feathered. Who do you think would be the leader between the two of them?
I'm trying to think, because it's Harry and Marv, isn't it? John's a bit more dominant, isn't he? So he would probably be the Harry.
Yeah.
And I imagine Greg would be the Marv.
I'd love to see a British remake of Home Alone with those two of the robbers and wee Jimmy Cranky as Kevin McAllister. And the first one, he's saved by the old weird guy.
I like that man.
That would be Uncle Albert from Only Fools and Horses would play that guy.
With a massive spade at the end. That bit with the old man where he's reunited with his family, it always makes me cry.
Does it?
Yeah.
I've always fancied spending a Christmas by myself. I feel like it'd be really good.
You're just jealous of Kevin.
I'm jealous of the old guy.
Oh, right. Oh,
like,
okay.
why are you calling your son?
Yeah.
You got Christmas to yourself?
Yeah, you'd like to become estranged from your family.
Well, not forever, just one Christmas and then go back to normal.
What would you do if you had that one Christmas just to yourself?
I would just watch films and get drunk all day.
That'd be brilliant. Do a big treat shop on Christmas Eve.
Yeah, just get loads of crisps and sweets.
You get one of those bacon crunchy pillows.
Oh, man. Yeah, now you're talking. In fact, I'd sleep on that.
Yes.
And then I'd wake up the next morning, lift up my head, and headbutt my pillow to pop it. So I go,
bang,
bang.
Do people know what we're talking about? Bacon crunchy pillow?
Might need a little bit of context.
So bacon
here.
crunchy pillow was a sort of torso-sized bag of bacon crunchy crisps that we used to be able to get at my local petrol station.
I feel like the bag was taut, wasn't it?
Yes,
it was like air.
That's why we call it a pillow. And yeah, I very much enjoy that idea of having a nice night's sleep, then slamming your head back on the pillow.
Bang! And like both ends.
Burst it open.
Yeah, Chris come flying out. Come on, what a way to wake up on Christmas.
Okay, let's just find the safe and get the hell out of here. I'll check the back of the house. I'll check the front. Money, you head upstairs. Aw, what'd you do that for? His name isn't Money anymore. That's right. I'm Donkey now. Aw, would you stop? When you stop saying my name wrong, dog. Fine. Donkey, you check upstairs. Yeah, that's cool. I need the bathroom anyway. Can we please stay focused?
Hello? Is there anybody there? I can hear your hearts beating. You won't find anything here. I have nothing of value. No credit cards. No jewelry. No money.
Oh no. Aw.
Hey, Eamon, guess what?
What?
I've got a secret.
What's your secret?
You know 50 Cent?
Yeah.
He got shot 9 times.
What?
Yeah, 9 times.
Wow.
What most people don't know, though, is he got shot 9 times in the exact same place.
Where was that?
His left wing.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah, and they shot him once in the wing, and then they shot him 9 more times, and it went straight through the same hole.
Jeez.
And that's why he was fine.
I don't know what I find more impressive, that all 9 shots hit him in the same place, although he has wings.
It's hard to choose.
I mean, yeah, it's difficult doing a gangster rap about your beautiful wings.
Well, that's why he doesn't talk about them in his rap songs.
I can feel that Ben is in one of those moods, so I'm going to quickly try and steer us back into what I would call more conventional podcast chat. I'm loath to do it too much. Obviously, everyone loves talking about 50 Cent having wings. But just in case there's 1 or 2 people who don't, let me take it from here for the next few seconds. Welcome to Watching Films on the Toilet. My name is Eamonn.
Yeah, my name's Ben.
2 dads with young families and no time.
We got kids, yo.
We got kids. Don't you know that?
We got no time, yo.
We love watching violent films with loads of action, basically things our children can't watch.
Yeah.
So we watch them on the DL in the toilets. DL stands for down low, if you're not street like I am.
You're so gangster, Eamon.
That's right. Did we talk about my association with the Crips?
You are gang affiliated. I'm not sure if we should talk about that so much on the podcast. I don't want to be shot in the street for being linked to that.
Yeah.
Because I'm not. So I'm open to gang offers.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Yeah. Any gangs, if you want a quite skinny guy who looks remotely like Kevin Bacon and goes off the rails occasionally, then hit me up.
Well, it's a great sell. I'm sure the phone will be ringing off the hook.
Probably just be text messages. On a burner, I'll have to get one of those burner phones now.
You will do.
You've got loads, haven't you?
Yeah, but do actually burn them for heat.
Oh, right. Pretty sure that's not what you're meant to do with them.
Well, maybe that's why I have no money.
They're not kindling.
Well, every time I try and start a fire, I have at least 3 or 4 iPhones. I mean, the absolute lowest I'll go is 6 Plus. So a few iPhones just to get the fire going. Every time I light a fire, it costs approximately £1,200.
I bet it's a really thick, smoky fire, though.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Did you do one before this podcast? Because your eyes are really red.
Yeah, so you know how some people put eucalyptus oil in a hot bowl, put their face over it? That's what I do with burning phones. Make sure I take some big, deep breaths.
Yeah.
And that thick, acrid smoke really just clears me out.
That's part of the gang life, though, isn't it? That's the main part.
Yeah, I'll take a few big huffs,
Yeah.
cough up a little blood, then I'm ready to go.
That's right. If you want to be part of this life, you got to be prepared for all that it brings. You might get in trouble with the police. You might get shot.
Yeah.
You might get severe lung disease from huffing in so much burning phone smoke.
I mean, I tried really hard to bring us back onto a normal track. Here I am talking about burning iPhones for fire and inhaling the gases.
Yeah,
So-
well, I'm fairly sure you started that.
I
so.
did start,
So let me rein it back in by saying that this week we will be discussing the 2016 horror thriller. I can't roll my... Can you roll your L's?
Thriller.
No, thriller.
Thriller. That doesn't
Thriller.
work.
Thriller.
Okay.
Horror thriller. Don't breathe.
Horror. Thriller. Don't breathe.
The 2016 horror thriller. Don't breathe.
You sound like Gillian Anderson's Margaret Thatcher.
Yeah.
My hair is missing. Don't breathe.
Directed by Fede Alvarez. He also directed the Evil Dead remake, which was incredibly gory.
Ooh.
And he made this film to show that he wasn't all about the gore. He could do a smart, twisty, not so gory thriller as well. And we're going to be talking about that later. That is a film that I saw and enjoyed. And I thought I'd let Eamon check it out and see what he thought.
Hang on, sorry, 1 second. Shush! Shh! Snowflake! Sorry.
There was the guinea pigs again, wasn't it?
Snowflake is rumble strutting, which is a dominance display.
rumble strutting.
It's like guinea pigs, which look inherently ridiculous,
Yeah.
trying to intimidate one another.
But they look tough.
Makes them look even more
It'd
ridiculous.
be like you in a gang.
It is, yeah. They sort of make this kind of trilling noise, and they rock their fat asses from side to side. It's just like, mate, that's not intimidating. You sound stupid.
We got any letters this week? Any letters or emails? Anyone been in touch, Eamon? Anyone care?
Yeah. We certainly do. Got a very nice email.
Oh,
I've only skim read it. Yeah, I know. Well, let me read it out. Dear Watching Films on the Toilet, I was disheartened to hear on the last episode you feel like all you've done in your podcast is to make enemies who subsequently issued threats of legal retribution or physical violence. I, for one, have greatly enjoyed your podcast. The film discussion is always very interesting, and the light-hearted banter has me crying with laughter.
Good.
Yeah, this is going really well.
This is great.
Ben's impressions are brilliant, and I enjoy the crazy conversations, even when they do get a bit weird.
That's nice.
Anyway, chin up, boys, and don't listen to the haters. You're doing amazing work.
Brilliant.
Yours sincerely, the ghost of Adolf Hitler.
No.
Oh, Ben.
Oh, it was going so well.
Oh, I was loving that praise.
Oh.
It turns out it's from the worst man in history.
Oh.
Jeez Louise.
Oh. That's a shame. I mean, is it wrong if I take the compliment?
I don't really want to thank the ghost of Adolf Hitler for writing into us.
No.
But I will take the compliment.
Yeah, me too.
If there's the ghosts of any other historical figures listening and you'd like to give us some feedback on the podcast, please do get in touch.
Yeah, perhaps a less evil ghost.
What about Florence Nightingale would be a good one?
Mary Seacole, Grace Darling, all the famous women.
Yeah,
that would be.
Yeah,
good,
we only want to hear. We don't want to hear from any white men.
No.
Actually, we only want to hear from women.
Dead women.
Oh, maybe like a Sir Francis Drake, or
he's not a woman.
No, I know. I just like to hear from him.
It's been too long.
It has.
Yeah.
Yeah, the ghost of Sir Francis Drake. If you're listening, please get in touch.
Yeah, please do. Or, like I said, any of the dead women. Send us an email, write us a letter, whatever you can do from the spirit realm.
We will be giving you the details on how to communicate with us from the spirit world at the end of the podcast.
It'd be a double-edged sword if we found out only in death that we were incredibly popular in the spirit realm.
Oh, man.
I
know.
Whoa,
we loved your podcast. Oh,
Finally, we get to meet you.
Oh, why do we find this out now when we're ghosts?
Let's take you to your biggest fan.
No, don't.
No,
Don't.
whoa.
Just stop.
He's listened to all your shows.
Oh, God.
Cheers.
Yeah, hopefully not. Anyway.
Guess that only means one thing, old chum.
What?
Time for toilet news, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Toilet news.
That's how much Ben loves toilet news.
Oh, I love it.
You'll love this as much as I do, because this is toilet news from Plymouth.
Hey!
So,
well, then it's the best toilet news.
If you guys have not listened to some of the earlier episodes, Ben and I grew up in Plymouth.
Yep.
So we have a soft spot for the place, also kind of like laughing at it as well, which we're entitled to do so, because that's where we're from.
We're actually allowed, because we're from there, so we can. So,
don't judge us.
No, so like, did I not say I was from Plymouth? Did I not say I was from Plymouth? Thank you, exactly, thank you. You can't criticise me, can you? Thank you, exactly, thank you.
That is actually an uncanny impression of how a Plymouthien would respond in that situation. So there you go. We know our stuff. Okay. Plymouth Beauty Spot is being used as a toilet and dumping ground.
Oh, no. Been used as a toilet.
Right, and before I start, what I should say is there's a lady who they take some quotes from in this, and she gives an absolute masterclass in sarcasm. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing.
Okay.
What should be one of Plymouth's prettiest areas is instead being used as a public toilet, a dumping ground for waste, and a place for people to take drugs, an angry resident has claimed. The woman, who asked to remain anonymous, says she's been a long-term resident of Saltash Passage, which overlooks the River Tamar.
Right.
But claims things have deteriorated significantly in the past few years. Okay. I am ashamed to live here in Saltash Passage, she told Plymouth Live. What a beautiful, accommodating little area on the bank of the River Tamar with beautiful views of the bridges and Saltash. It sounds idyllic, yes, but in reality it is a shit tip used by drug addicts. The sheltered seating areas are used as public toilets and as a place to quietly sit, eating takeaways, drinking beer and doing drugs. You can also leave your rubbish anywhere you like, including outside the homes of local residents, and leave dirty nappies in the car park along with takeaway leftovers. No toilets? Not a problem. Just visit the sheltered seating area next to the cafe and children's play park where you can go to the toilet as you like. Not only do we have to put up... okay, well, she stops being sarcastic then. But anyway, so there you go, Ben.
It's terrible, isn't it?
Oh, it is.
Using it as a toilet.
It's a beautiful place.
Can't use a booty spa as a toilet. How can we put a stop to this, Eamonn? Petition?
We could do some kind of fundraising event.
We could. I think the only real way to put a stop to it is to make the other side worse.
Yes.
Put so much trash on the other side. Maybe start a sort of 300-person rave.
Yeah.
Where everyone's, at the substances. And then the people on the other side of the river will look across and say, oh, I wouldn't want to live there. That'd be awful. I actually don't mind it here at all. I'm a genius.
That is a very good idea.
I should solve all problems.
Well, let's do it then.
Yeah.
It's going to be a great family day. Bring your children, your drugs, takeaways, your shitting dogs.
Collect a few weeks' waste just in a bag. You can put that all over the floor as well.
Take an entire packet of Imodium.
Yes.
Bung yourself right up. Okay. And then when you feel like you're fit to burst, head on down to Saltash.
Yes.
Get to it.
My dad lives in Saltash.
Oh, yeah?
He walks his dog a lot around there.
We'll be making a big bonfire.
We could burn some phones.
I've got a load of tyres I'm going to burn up. I'm going to bring those down there. I got some swears to spray paint all over.
That's going to be a great party.
Yeah.
The first annual watching films on the toilet landfill event.
That's right. We're going to take that Pebble Beach, make them wish they'd never messed with the Devon side of the River Tamar.
It'll look like the beach in Dunkirk.
There'll be some bodies, all right. Don't you worry about that.
More news.
Okay, this is from businessinsurance.com, where it's my first call for news. Every time I wake up in the morning, I'm like, whoa, better check old businessinsurance.com.
You're into the stocks and the crypto, aren't you?
Oh, God. So I'm all across this kind of stuff. So, ketchup packets are 2021's toilet paper. So, citing a year's worth of COVID-19 restaurant closures, the ketchup industry says it's playing catch-up as supplies dwindle and companies seek to ramp up supply, according to the Wall Street Journal. Restaurants in search of packets are mostly feeling the squeeze. So, basically, because everyone's been operating just takeaways, can't just get a big old bottle of ketchup.
No.
Pop it on your rice.
Your rice?
Yeah, you have ketchup
you
on
do,
rice.
Yeah, that's right.
You?
You get a Chinese, you get a Thai, lather that up in ketchup. Dip your spring rolls in.
First thing I say whenever I walk in to like a Chinese restaurant or like a Thai restaurant, I'd be like, before you even show me the menu, please bring in a big bottle of ketchup.
That's right. I phone ahead.
Do you know what I actually do if I go into somewhere particularly upmarket? I've got squeezy bottles of ketchup up my sleeves like Travis Bickle.
Oh, nice.
And I sort of flick it out while no one's looking and just go...
You never know when you might need those condiments.
Well, the other one I've got mayonnaise. So anytime I want like a prawn cocktail sauce, I am laughing.
Double squeeze.
There's been so many times I've been in restaurants and I'll just be wryly order, can I have 12 dried prawns, please? And the waiter will be like, oh, monsieur, these will be too dry. And I'll give him a little wink and be like, I know what I'm doing. And then when my dry prawns arrive...
Are you eating in the Beast's house from Beauty and the Beast? Is it Lumiere? Yeah, monsieur, your dry prawns.
Yeah. And then when they're not looking, I'll be like...
Yeah.
Mix it all up. Then I'll be like, a mixing spoon as well, please. And then I have to mix it up. My wife says to me, well, why don't you just pre-mix it and just load it into one bottle down one arm?
That's an amazing idea. You can't squeeze out dried prawns, though. I thought you... You mean the sauce? I thought you meant the whole thing.
Yeah, I'll go to a restaurant. I'll have my pre-made mixture of the once dried prawns mixed in with the ketchup and mayonnaise, and I'll just be like, 1 plate, please. No, don't you want anything? No, 1 plate, please. And then when I'm not watching, just go. Like that.
1 plate, please. No mixing spoon. Well, that was the toilet news. And now we're going to talk about our film for the week. As I said, Don't Breathe, 2016. Eamonn, how many sittings did it take you to get through Don't Breathe? And did you breathe?
Afraid to say I did breathe once.
Oh, cheater.
I know. It took me 8 sittings. What about you?
Well, I didn't breathe. I watched it in 90 sittings so that I could not take a breath for the entire duration of the film.
Well done to you, sir.
What have you had a drink of for my summery this week?
I thought really hard. And when we had Russ on as a guest, he did the Big Reese summary, and he did a very good thematic linked drink that lined up nicely with the film.
Which you completely ignored last week.
So, well, no, I thought I'd try really hard. So there's a blind man in this film. What I did is I blindfolded myself.
Oh, right.
Went to the fridge and took out the first thing I laid my hands on and drank that.
Okay.
And it was half a bottle of fish sauce.
I thought you were going to say a turkey baster full of How long did that give you?
Fortunately for you, I had to drink about 3 pints of water immediately afterwards because it was so flipping gross. Anyway, that gives you a time of 1 minute 21.
That's pretty good.
3, 2, 1, go.
Our protagonists are 3 thieves. Rocky, who's trying to raise enough money to take her little sister away from her alcoholic mother. Alex, who really wants to impress Rocky. And Money, who's in it for the lols. Money receives a tip about this blind ex-soldier who's received a large cash settlement after some rich woman killed his daughter in a car accident. They break into his house, tranquilise his dog, and search for the cash. Piece of cake, right? Unfortunately for them, the blind dude is a lot more dangerous than he looks. After he shoots Money in the head, Rocky and Alex hold their breath for a long time, then run into his basement to escape, only to find the daughter-killing rich girl has been tied up down there. And she's pregnant with the blind fella's child. Gross. Anyway, the blind guy accidentally kills the rich girl, and then after some more failed escape attempts, manages to tie up Rocky so she can take the rich girl's place. Thankfully, Alex manages to stop him before he, well, if you've seen it, you'll know what he was going to do. It's all looking good for Alex and Rocky, but then Alex gets shot, dead. Sad face. Rocky's chased by the massive dog, manages to trap it in a car, gets knocked out again, wakes up in the house again, but then sets off the alarm, and the blind man doesn't like that, so she beats him up and actually manages to escape. Then she heads to the airport with her little sister after seeing on the news that the blind fella is very much alive. The end.
Whoa. Okay, well, that was 1 minute 30, so just 9 seconds out, but
too far out.
So what did you think of this old film?
I really like this movie. I feel like your expectations are frequently flipped upside down. The characters are not particularly robust. We don't know an awful lot about them, but they're economically introduced. They all have motivations. I mean, other than Money, who's just disposable, but for a reason. And it just means we can get into the house very quickly, and we can get on with the film, and we can get on with the horrors. It's intense, and it's got a great central performance from Stephen Lang as well. What do you think of it? What do you think of the characters, first of all?
Well, I've always hated the blind, and I feel like this film has kind of proved me right.
Yeah, you're right.
No, I agree with you. So the characterization was minimal, but I thought Rocky was a great character, actually, because you usually have, like, an alpha male who's like, we should do this. And
Yeah.
then often the character saying, "Oh, we shouldn't do this," is like the girl. Whereas in this, it was the other male character saying we shouldn't do this. Rocky was just like, "Don't be so lame. Let's do this."
That's
we were
right.
given just enough to know why she really wanted to do it. Because it wasn't just because she was unpleasant, it was because she had a tough old home life, and that was enough.
She was looking to take an easy way out, wasn't she? But she had to suffer in order to escape. And suffer she does in some very horrible ways.
Yeah, well, as we talked about last time, I really don't like horror. It's not that I dislike the genre, it's that I don't like making myself feel all, like, stressed when I'm watching a film. I don't mind watching thrillers, but horror movies are just a little bit too much for me.
Yeah.
And I think you described this as quite a good gateway film, and that's a perfect description of it. Because what I really, really liked is that it wasn't a monster or a crazed Leatherface style adversary who's kind of so abstract they may as well be like a vampire or a werewolf or something. He's a really believable character.
He's not superpowered either,
he's
is
just
he?
quite...
I mean, he's very able, but he's an ex-soldier who has very much learnt to make the most of his disability.
Yeah, the first time he appears around the corner after Money uses his gun, it's really creepy.
Yeah.
And he's got a really good face anyway, Stephen Lang.
He's grizzled, isn't he?
He is great.
Initially, he's very much the victim, and he appears with his eyes closed, and he's sort of frail. He's got that crackly voice. Is anybody there? And you think, oh no, the poor man. But then he grabs Money by the throat, opens his eyes, which are completely black like a shark. He's suddenly got this pumping great bicep. You think, oh my God, this guy's going to just crush his throat. He doesn't crush his throat. No, he lets him go, then shoots him in the head.
Yeah.
And you get that Fight Club like cheek flaring when his head blows off.
That was what I really enjoyed about this, actually, is he starts out as the person you feel sympathy for, and then by turns, he becomes the villain, and you start rooting against him.
At what point did you stop feeling sorry for him?
Pretty much when he shot the guy, I was just kind of like, okay, I don't feel sorry for anyone.
Yeah.
And then when you discover that chained up girl in this basement, I was like, okay,
That's the end of sympathy, isn't it?
We can relate to him as fathers, and obviously the prospect of what he went through is horrific, and understand that kind of psychotic rage that is within him. But then I would say generally I frown upon kidnapping.
As a rule, I would say.
If someone's talking to me about a planned kidnap, I often kind of show my distaste by like furrowing my brow, as if to say, like, I'm not cool with this kidnap, and I'd rather you stop talking about it.
You wouldn't say anything, but you...
Out of social politeness, I wouldn't call them out on it, but I'd hope my face would say enough that they just soon drop it.
Well, that would be rude, wouldn't it? That would be rude.
They drop the subject of the kidnapping and move on to something else. So I think that moment, I feel, when the kidnap is discovered, he does become the villain, but you can still understand his motivations.
Yes.
But then the subsequent revelations, you're like, oh, okay, no, he's definitely the bad guy. He is definitely just the bad guy.
Well, you know, I can relate to him.
Okay.
Not because of kidnapping, but because I am essentially blind.
Are you?
Yeah, I can't see very well at all. I have terrible eyesight. I remember when we first moved up to London, we did a data processing job in North London, didn't we?
Place.
We lived in South London and we had to go all the way to North London, and I can't quite remember why. I think I tripped and my glasses fell off and they smashed on the floor.
Yeah.
And I had to get all the way from North London back to South London without being able to see.
Oh, wow, okay.
And the tube announcement boards, they were too high for me to be able to see. So I had to get on what I hoped was a train on the right branch to where I was going. And then I had to get on a bus, but I couldn't see the bus number, so I had to ask the bus driver.
Yeah.
It was horrible. Eventually, I made it home.
That was after spending 2 weeks living with that bus driver.
Yeah, that was awkward.
Yeah.
Well, he said it. He said the bus would take me home.
So remember, you told me that he let you ride on his lap for the journey home.
Yeah, it was a funny-looking bus. It was very...
It's more like a van with blacked-out windows.
Yeah, no one else got on.
That is weird. That actually reminds me of a time I was in London when I was pretty young, pretty green
Yeah.
around the gills. I'd done some work drinks. It was like a free bar, so I got absolutely hammered.
Mm-hmm.
And I was so drunk that I just remember thinking, if I get on any bus, I will end up going home. So I just got on this bus.
That's how London works.
Yeah, and so anyway, I realised I was going the wrong direction, got off,
Yeah.
and somewhere I literally didn't know where I was going, and this old, dodgy-looking man just started talking to me, and he's very friendly,
Yeah.
and he was going, why don't you come and stay at mine?
Oh, God.
Come and stay at mine.
Yeah.
And his way of trying to seal the deal of that was to tempt me in with a snow globe. And he's just like, here's this snow globe.
He was going to give you a snow globe gift.
He gave me it.
Oh, wow.
There was no strings attached.
No, definitely
But-
not. Definitely not.
He said, here's the snow globe, come back to mine. And fortunately, even then, I was just like, this isn't quite right.
Yeah, there were some bells that still ring in your head.
So I said, no, I'm good, thanks. But please, take all the change I have in return for this snow globe. And I gave him all the money I had. Because I felt I didn't want to offend him. But then, as soon as I'd shaken him off, I realised that the snow globe might have germs on it. So I left it on a bollard.
Oh, so you just left it there.
So anyway.
I wonder if we could get him on the podcast. There's a brilliant scene in this film, which was unlike anything I think I'd seen before, in the dark. So the way they shot darkness actually felt like darkness.
Yeah.
Darkness is always so well lit, because it would just be black. But in this, I think they used a ring light to light what was right in front of the camera.
Yeah.
And then they added some post effects.
Yeah.
But there's a part where the camera kind of pulls away from the blind guy and he just disappears into the darkness.
That was great.
Really effective.
Really creepy.
They all wore these big dilated pupil lenses, which meant they couldn't see.
Ah.
So it worked really well.
There's very little not to like about this film.
Yeah, it's tight.
The only thing I didn't quite like is the very end where they reveal that he survived.
Yeah.
And he's going, this brave ex-veteran fought off these home invaders.
Yeah.
And you kind of think, yeah, but if the police must have come to his house because he fell down a flight of stairs, would they not have at least had a look at the dungeon? Like, would they not have at least gone like, so you've got a load of pillows set up in a kind of like a cell and loads of handcuffs everywhere?
That is true. I did wonder how they had missed all that stuff.
Because police are often shown to be morons in
Life?
film.
Right, sorry.
And in real life also. But like, you'd feel like at the very least they'd have a little snoop around.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
Well, I just found this guy. There's clearly been guns fired and there's blood everywhere, but I'm not going to look around. I'm just going to address the creepy-looking blind guy who's unbelievably hench.
We'll just get about 10 or 12 cops down here to carry him up the stairs because he's an absolute beast.
And no further. Let's go no further.
Do you remember when we played hide and seek in the dark
Yes.
at my house? We must have been about 16, and it was you and me and a few friends. And what I love about that is that at that age, most lads were out getting absolutely smashed. We all went round to my house and played hide and seek in the dark, which tells you everything you need to know about how cool we were at that age.
Jeez. Yeah.
I tried to play it with my kids recently, and they got way too scared. They couldn't handle it. They were terrified.
It is really scary. That's why it is brilliant.
I did keep running past them in the dark and shouting, "I'm coming." But that's just part of the game, right?
Yeah.
That's just part of the game.
Yeah, that's right.
They need to grow a pair.
Yeah. You also had a live octopus, didn't you? Which you'd throw at their faces and it kind of like wrap around their face like in James Bond.
Yeah, but again, that's the game. That's the game, isn't it? It's probably one of the best times with friends I've ever had.
But it was really good fun.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah. Also, my mates might have been bird-dogging chicks and banging as Murphy says in On Booth over the cuckoo's nest. We were playing hide and seek in the dark.
Yeah, we were, which is pretty cool.
Tell the listeners what you do when you were in your courting days, obviously before you married.
Yeah.
What would you do when you were near an attractive lady?
Yeah, it's not just an attractive lady. Anyone attractive, any beautiful person, man or woman. If I make eye contact with them, I just laugh.
It's so weird.
It just makes me laugh. So if a beautiful person walked in to a room, I'd have to kind of look anywhere but at their face in order to have a conversation.
I go the opposite way, which is if I see someone, attractive man or woman, I automatically assume that they're looking down on me as an ugly person and become immediately resentful and like shirty with them. Just like, who do you think you are? Just because you look down on me.
And like 1 time out of 10, it works really well.
Well, yeah, I gave my my wife a load of shit the first time we met. She's like, fucking looking at me like that. And for some reason she
it worked really well.
Endearing.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, whereas I just kept laughing at my wife, and now we've been married for a long time.
Laughter stopped a long time ago, though, didn't it? Yeah. On that note, in light of our ongoing beef with Josh Widdicombe, I was doing some research and I was listening to some Josh Widdicombe air quotes telling jokes. Absolutely, furious whilst watching because it was so unfunny. My wife was in the other room howling with laughter. She was just like, "Oh, you got Widdicombe on me. That guy is the best." So there you go.
It's real beef.
100% prime British beef.
Wow.
Yeah. So, Benjamin.
Eamonn.
Would you flush this film away or would you fish it out and keep it?
Oh, yeah, I'd fish it out and I'd keep it under my bed, like Stephen Lang keeps his big gun.
I thought you were going to say under your pillow then for a second. Which would not be such a good idea.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't put it under my pillow. I'd fish it out. I really like it. I think it's a twisty thriller. It's brief. It's effective.
Yes.
It's shocking. And it is thrilling all the way through. What about yourself?
Yes, I also fished this out. As discussed, not my favourite genre, but really impressed. Had a villain with a good motivation, no supernatural powers. He was just like an ex-Marine hench, able to work with, within his own parameters. Really well done.
I'm really glad. So that means we've both fished it out. It is going into the tank of glory.
Wow. We had a little gunfight there. Sorry, we got so excited. Yeah.
That's insane. We made all those noises with our mouths as well.
I'm sure you're thinking, like, where do they get such sweet sound effects?
I know, we're okay.
Okay, no guns were fired.
Anyway, so Don't Breathe joins Midnight Run, Hard Boiled, and Brawl in Cell Block 99 in the tank of glory. So that's 4 movies. There's space for one more, and after that, we're going to have to take one out to put one in.
Tense negotiation.
All right, so now it's time for this week's Top 5. Top 5.
I've run out of ammo.
Just me this time? Okay, fine. Now, in the film Don't Breathe, we didn't talk about the massive dog.
Yeah.
Terrifying dog.
If you put on the subtitles of this film, they actually tell you what the dog is saying when he's barking.
What was he saying?
He's just, I'm going to eat you up.
Oh, right. Oh, okay.
You were bad to my friend. That's what they were going to call this film originally, but Suits got involved, didn't they?
I'm going to eat you up.
I'm going to eat you up. You're bad to my friend.
Anyway, big scary dog. So this week we are doing top 5 movie dogs. You go first.
Okay, I'm going to say the dog from John Wick.
I'll have to give it to you because you said John Wick. Okay. It was actually the big dogs from John Wick 3 that Halle Berry uses. Right. And they are like attack dogs. Okay. And they grab people in the air and jump at them. And it's sort of like dog kung fu. And they are awesome.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to choose Baxter from Anchorman.
No.
Oh, rude.
Yeah. I'm going to say Einstein from Back to the Future.
Yes.
Hey! Wowee.
This is not good.
I feel pleased as punch.
Okay, I'm going to say Doug from Up.
Yes, of course.
Yes.
I would say one of my all-time favourite characters in any Pixar movie. He's so funny.
He's amazing.
Cracks me up just looking at him.
Well, if you get this, you've won.
I'm going to say Mad Max's dog.
No. All right, this is a duplicate. Pippet from Jaws.
Purr. Have you just chosen because of the weird way he says Pippet?
I like the way he says Pippet.
No, I have not chosen Pippet.
Oh, no. You rat bag.
I know.
So what have you chosen?
So I had Doug in Up, Dante in Coco, another Pixar dog.
I can't watch that film.
Why not?
It breaks me. Coco's the gran,
Yeah.
isn't she? And she just reminded me of my nan.
Oh.
I took the boys to see that in the cinema, and I was a mess. I was embarrassing.
Oh, mate.
But anyway, move on.
I've got Jack, who's the little dog in The Artist. Puffy, the dog in a cast in There's Something About Mary.
Right.
And Verdell in As Good As It Gets, which I think is the best name of any dog.
It's a great name, Verdell.
So what did you go for then?
I had Einstein from Back to the Future. I had the Attack Dogs from John Wick 3. I had Frank from Men in Black.
Oh, yeah.
I had Puppet from Jaws.
Pepper.
I had Max from Terminator 2.
Ah, excellent. My choice for our next film to watch, 1993, directed by Joel Schumacher, Falling Down.
Nice.
So I remember watching this at the time,
Yeah.
thinking, this guy's an absolute psycho. I feel a little apprehensive that I'll watch this and completely relate to everything that character goes through and be like rooting for him the whole way.
Yeah, I'm fairly sure that's going to happen.
Yeah.
So, there you go. Another one in the bag. That's what they say in the industry, isn't it?
That's right. They say, there's another one in the bag. Let's go and sleep with some prostitutes and do loads of drugs.
Yeah, like they say in the industry.
But when me and you finish, we're like, that's another one in the bag. Let's go and play tag in the dark.
Yeah. Or let's just go to bed.
Should I have a snack? No, it's bedtime.
Whee!
Well then.
Tell you what, we're all over Instagram.
Oh man. We've got so many followers, like, you should probably follow us in case you look uncool.
Yeah. Yeah, you wouldn't want to miss out.
Oh, but by the way, all your friends are following us, so why don't you follow us? It'd be really
That's
uncool if you don't.
Most of our followers are Crips.
Yeah, so why don't you just follow us? Because we're actually really cool.
Yeah. We don't mind if Bloods follow
No.
us. That's okay.
No. We've tried reverse psychology, now we're just going for peer pressure. All your cool friends are doing it, so you should probably do it as well.
And you should speak with like an upward intonation.
Yeah.
Like when you follow us. You should like all our posts as well. We're on the Facebook. We're not on Twitter because it's a hive of scum and villainy.
Yeah, I'd say it's the worst social media, so...
It's too busy.
We kept on getting all these push notifications saying, your tweets aren't racist enough.
Yes, that's right.
We were trying our best, but nothing we could come up with was inflammatory enough for the bods at Twitter HQ.
Nothing for anyone to get cross about.
Yeah.
So you won't find us on Twitter, but you can find us in other places.
In the park, we're down the park quite a lot. You can find us down there.
Mate.
You know there's two big trees next to each other.
Yeah.
We're often there. So if you want to come down the park, we're there.
We're there.
There.
There. Oh,
yeah.
okay. We're there.
We're there.
Also, we will be hanging out on the bank of the Tamar
We're going to go and...
for that party.
We're going to go down and up Cornwall
Which is something you've been meaning to do for quite a while now, isn't it?
That's what's been keeping me going during the lockdown. As soon as this lockdown is over, I'm going to get down there. I'm going to trash that shoreline.
And now you've got a legitimate reason to do
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
The police actually can't move you on.
No.
If you're burning tyres and making a mess, you're just like, oh, doing it for charity. They're like, fair enough.
Cool. And obviously we have a podcast, so please like it, subscribe to it. You could write a review if you want.
We actually had, in all seriousness, someone write a really nice review
Yeah, we did.
the other day, and
Really
it really,
nice.
it really made our days.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
So, you know, if you want to cheer up two middle-aged men, just write something nice.
Yeah. All right. Thanks very much. Eamonn, what do you say at the end of the podcast?
Flushing.
Wow. Did you not breathe?
Exactly. Yeah.
Don't breathe.
Bye.
Bye.